Welcome to Great Lakes Outdoors, everyone. I'm your host, Rob Trott. On this week's show, we'll be taking you to Alaska, where Susie and I will be fishing for king salmon on the Kenai River in Soldotna. So you stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of your Great Lakes Outdoors. Late last summer, Susie and I had the pleasure to fish in Alaska with Alaska Legends Adventure Resort in Soldotna. After arriving at the lodge and checking in, we talked quickly with owner Linda Heath before heading out salmon fishing on the lower Kenai River. It was the peak of the King Salmon Run, and today we'd be fishing with our guide Gary Hull of Slammin' Salmon Charters. Hi Gary, you ready to go?
You bet, Rob. How you doing?
Hope we're going to get a fish or two, eh?
With any luck, bite's been fair. Rob, what we're going to do out here is we're going to do a little back trolling. And the way we do it, the way this gear works, that's your release button.
Yep.
Push her down, put your thumb on the spool.
Okay.
And then just let it right out the side.
Okay.
That diver, when it catches the water, will start pulling the line out.
Right.
You let the level line go across 10 times. It'll be like 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
When it gets to 10, move your thumb from the button, click the handle, you're fishing. It's that simple.
Okay. Put it back in the holder, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We like to fish out of the holders. These fish, you got to really let them rip it. And if you're holding it, most of us are just a little too quick. So
okay.
But once holders are the ticket.
You set the hook down or not?
You wait till the line's ripping off.
Okay.
And then pick it up and pound him real hard.
Okay.
And keep the line tight, and we should get him to the boat.
Not going too far anyway, are we, Gary?
I like to start right in front out here. It's one hole that always holds fish. And I've never left the lagoon without making one pass right in front. One of my most favorite spots.
All right. After a quick run, we set up our lines for our first back troll. 10?
10, yes.
Yep, all right.
I like to line my baits up in a row.
Okay.
That way, if we back down on a fish and he decides to move away from it, we got a good chance he's going to bump right into the next one.
All right.
And just slide her all the way down in there, Rob. There you go.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right.
I haven't lost too many rods.
No, I don't want to be the first.
You basically have to hit these fish right in the head to get them to bite.
Okay.
When they first come in out of the ocean, they're fairly aggressive. They still have the tendency to bite anything they think they can eat. But the longer they're in the fresh water, the harder it is to get them to bite.
All right. And the more baits and people they've seen too, I'm sure, right? And boats and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kenai holds some of the largest kings that you can find. It's really nice when you can pick up a real big one. Most of them average about 45 pounds, maybe 35. But we'll pick up 55, 70 pound fish throughout the year. One here, one there. One of the most common baits for these kings is king salmon eggs. And we take them out of the fish that we catch, cure them up, and we put them on the hook like that using an egg loop with a little floater. And that's what we use to catch them. They bite them pretty good.
No, Gary, there's a lot of traffic today, and you tell me this is nothing. It's going to be a lot worse Tuesday.
Oh.
I guess we didn't perceive we're going to see all this, and I know there'll be other places we're going to go we won't, but there's a lot of fishermen. Why is that?
Well, Alaska doesn't have a huge road system, and anywhere there's a road, there's going to be a lot of people because it's the only access short of airplane. And the Kenai River happens to be on the road system, so it's a very crowded river.
And very good fishing. That has something to do with it.
Well, it may not hold the most king salmon, but it does hold the largest, and that's a real draw to people
That's
who
right.
try to come and catch one of these wonderful
right.
trophies.
That's right. Like
But-
I told you, in Michigan, if we get a 30-pounder, that's a trophy. That's nothing here.
Yeah, in the state of Alaska, you can get a trophy fish certificate for a 50-pound fish, except for on the Kenai, and it has to be 75.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So a
That
30-pound
tells you.
fish is a pretty respectable fish in most of the streams around here, 30 to 50, 50 being the big end. But on the Kenai, 30 is considered the little end. So it's a real jewel of a river when it comes to fish.
You hook a 70-pounder, how long does it take you to get it in?
It depends on the angler, but I've fought them for 10 minutes and I've fought them for 45 minutes. It has a lot to do with the fish, too. I
Oh,
believe fish and all other animals are like people. Some have more tenacity than others. And some make a mistake sooner than others. So, you know, it just depends on the bite.
All right.
It's a lot like the old adage, attitude is everything.
Well, try as we did, we couldn't get a big king to hit this night, so we headed in. Arriving back at the lodge, we had a great dinner before turning in early. The following morning, Linda took us on a road trip to Seward to try a little fishing out of Resurrection Bay. After loading everyone aboard, we discussed the weather and decided to go out just a ways. As we left the harbor, it was smooth, but it changed drastically out in the Gulf. As we were leaving the harbor, these sea otters were busy playing and entertaining us. About halfway out, we ran into this bunch of sea lions, lazily relaxing on the rocks. The waves were really bad in the Gulf, so this was as far as we went. The following day, Susie tried to hook a king with our guide Gary Hall once again.
Well, we did this Sunday night and we didn't hook up and we didn't get lucky. So now we come back out a few days later and we're going to do it again. What's changed?
Well, not a lot other than possibly some more fresh fish have hit the river with the tides. It's all about timing. When a lot of fish come in, a lot of fish get caught.
But you were lucky today. You were successful with one that you boated today.
Uh-huh.
And in the last few days, you've boated more than one, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I have. I mean, I've hooked way more than I've ever boated. That's
What are the odds? I mean, you hear about people hooking up and taking down and all that, but what are the odds of really boating one? Be honest. I'm ready.
Yeah, right. You probably lose 35 to 40%. Some days you'll lose more, but on an average.
So if I listen well, you give me every instruction because I know you're the best out here, I've got a good success rate, right?
With flattery like that, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, let's do it.
That's the sweet spot because you drop right into the main belly of it.
Oh.
That's why everybody congregates right here. At low water, it means something. At high water, it's not such a big deal, but still the fish tend to follow the deeper channels.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big gravel bar that you can't see now. They can go right over it now, but like in June when we have real low water, they have to come right around this way.
So it's kind of close up to that bank then,
And that
right
guy
where
just
those
hit
boats
one.
are.
There's the
Uh-oh,
hook
he's
up.
got a fish on.
Yeah, he might have missed him. Looks like he missed him.
Oh, still moving.
No, he missed him.
Yep, just lost it or
That
whatever.
pole would have dropped down a
So
little
if he
more.
would have still been on, that pole would have bent right over, huh? Still been bent right
it'd
over.
have-
Did he get it out of the holder too soon, maybe?
It's hard to say. Sometimes a fish will grab a plug and not get the hook and run with it. Sometimes he'll grab your diver and run with it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen where they've slapped the divers before.
It's really easy to miss fish with one single hook.
The boat right next to us hooked a real nice king, and after a good battle, put him in the boat.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Nice 40-pound hen, 43, maybe 45.
Tomato in there about 65.
Oh, do you? We don't want to look at tomatoes.
That's a nice fish.
A few minutes later, we came across this young moose eating along the shoreline. You never know what you'll see in Alaska. Well, we tried hard, but just couldn't connect on a Kenai king. On the way in, Susie asked Gary what keeps him fishing for the monster kings.
Fish will do some really funny stuff to you. I've caught my lines way up above the boat. With the diver I use, it slides up the line, so a fish can feasibly swim up past you with your bait, and the diver will hold your line down and keep tension on it, and you won't even notice until all of a sudden your line's short and it's here, and the fish is actually up above. But that's like 1 out of 10, maybe.
But for what they can do and how fast they move, that's got to be what keeps you up coming out here every single day.
That and the fact that the world's record does swim in these waters.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's everybody's dream, so that keeps it going.
Okay, and you've got one out here you call Luther?
Yeah, that's him.
Luther's like how big?
It's probably about 102 pounds, I think.
You've seen him. Have you ever hooked him?
No, I've never hooked him.
Okay, well Luther, go ahead and bite.
I've seen some big fish, and I've had some really big fish on that I never did see, so right now he's kind of just a fantasy, but I know he swims here.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary, for all your efforts. Maybe next time we'll get to meet Luther. The following morning, Linda and Marnie drove us to High Adventure Air Charters for a fly-in trip to Wolverine Creek on the Big River for sockeye salmon. After loading everything in the plane, we talked to our guide Dave Giron on what to expect.
We got a lot of water over there right now. I mean, we've got a lot of water. We'll get some fish. I mean, we'll find some fish. I guarantee you that. But every day is a new experience over there.
We were soon near our destination, and to say there was a lot of flooding was an understatement. The Big River was turned into a huge flooded area. With all the rainfall the past week, it was hard to tell where the river really was. In no time, we were at our landing spot, and of course it was raining. Joining us today was Greg Archer, along with his dad John and son Colton from Muskogee, Oklahoma. After putting on our rain gear, we headed out towards Wolverine Creek, where the sockeye were stacked up heavy. When we arrived, fishermen weren't the only thing fishing here. There were several black bears also catching fresh sockeye. John was the first to hook into a nice red.
Yes. All right. Good job, John. Your first Alaska fish.
Another bear showed up and gave a few fishermen quite a surprise by getting within 20 feet of them. Greg's son Colton hooked his first sockeye moments later. We finally were able to work into the school. Can you believe the amount of sockeye in this spot? The hardest thing to do was not snag a fish while waiting for one to hit your fly.
Watch it come through. Watch it. Watch your lure. Watch your lure. Watch it. There he goes. Right there. That one. Simple as it is. Right there. Get them out. Right in the mouth. Easy. The rest of you stay out. Look at him go. Oh, he's a... Just like that. All right. That's all there is to it.
With my fish still in the net, John brought in a second, which Dave quickly added to our total.
Good.
Make it 3, Dave. There's another one right here.
You guys back off. John's got a fish, and he's going to bring it in here, and we're going to take it, put it in there, and cooler it. Okay, guys, hey, we're fishing here. We got a fish on. 4 for 4. Don't anybody spoil. Anybody spoil. Anybody spoil. Hallelujah.
Greg got into the action just moments later.
Right across the top of it. The closer you are to the surface, the better chance you got. I mean, you know, in the fish, so it's not underneath. Out of there.
One to go when the camera lady takes over here, Greg.
Yep, sure does.
She's ready.
She's good. She shows how.
Off the pound, with a muscle meat around it. Pound, I'll tell you that. I just want to look up that stream where they had to go to get to where they're going to spawn. I'll tell you, you respect them a lot more.
Camera lady's up. Fish. Alright. That's a good job.
He's pretty. Oh, he's two-toned. Yeah. You see that? Yeah. His head's green and he's a Christmas fish. Good, you caught a Christmas fish. I've not seen one that color.
Yeah, we don't have him yet. Not yet. We don't have him caught. You see that anchor? He's gone.
Knock him in the head.
Good work.
Yummy up.
Oh, come on, Junior. Yeah, somebody net it, please.
I got it.
Somebody. Ready, Colt?
Yeah, bring you up just there.
Under, down, and under.
Bring you up.
Better horses too.
I'll try to bring that to you. Up, stop it. Got it. Good work, Colt. Oh, and look. hook come out as soon as you scooped him. Good work. Yeah.
Well, all good things must come to an end, and we all limited out on sockeye in time to catch our plane. We passed this gorgeous waterfall on the way out. The plane was already waiting as we came around the corner, ending a great day of fishing.
How we doing?
Bring your knife.
What's that?
Bring your knife.
Got my knife?
No leg. Bring your knife.
Did I bring my knife?
Big plenty of fish.
Can we fillet him?
Yeah.
Check out all the fishermen below. Alaska has some serious fishing going on this time of year. After a smooth, entertaining ride, we were soon back at the base. We're here with Dave Geron, who is our guide today. Dave, where'd we go? We got some great fish today.
Well, we left from Longmere Lake, which is about 6 miles north of Soldotna, and we flew over Cook Inlet, and we landed on Big River Lakes.
Okay.
We then got in our boat and motored up to Wolverine Creek, where we ran into the salmon that are sitting there waiting to go on up to Wolverine Lake, about 3/4 of a mile up.
Okay. They were really stacked in there. There were a lot of fishermen there too, but everybody was doing well.
Oh yeah. Well, we've been waiting for this to happen all season long. This usually happens about from about the 10th of June, and we still have sockeyes in there in September. Mm-hmm. But they're in there as thick now as they've been all season long. It's been a little bit slow coming. We've had some really hot weather, and so they've been a little slow.
We kind of lined up and just took turns getting up there to the head of the creek, I guess. And boy, when we got there, it was just amazing. There must have been 1,000 of them or more.
Yeah, there were thousands or thousands of fish. Yeah, right there. And right now we've had a couple of good rains in the last couple of days, and so they're really getting excited now because the water's been really low in the creek, and I think that's what they're waiting for. You know, we've had maybe a push 3 weeks ago where they tried to push up it, but it wasn't a very big push, and now I think with all this rain and the creek rising, they're ready to move.
We also had a couple black bears come down to do a little fishing there too.
Yeah, well, that's a common practice. We see a lot of brownies in there. In fact, the black bears that we saw today was a little bit unusual, really, because we see them, but we don't see as many blacks as we do browns usually. And the browns, if there's a lot of browns in there, they usually chase the blacks out of there. So that was a little bit different today.
Show what we used today. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, we use these. Basically, we use just a coho fly or yarn fly, and a lot of them are homemade. These are not homemade, but it's just actually a cheap fly. We can buy them in here at the hardware store for $4 you know. And so it's I make a lot of mine. These are not made, but I do make a lot of mine because I like to use a Gamakatsu hook in them, and so I make a lot of them. We didn't use any of those today because I've broke off a couple thousand on the bottom over there, you know, and I think I need to make some more.
That's this week's show, everyone. We'd like to thank Gary Hull and Dave Geron for all their tips and expertise. It was a fabulous couple of days of fishing out of Alaska Legends Resort with Linda Heath and Marnie Nelson. Next week, we're going to take you halibut fishing out of Homer. It's a show you won't want to miss. Until then, I'm Rob Trotz saying, get outside. There's no better place to be.